In today's episode of Strike Gold,
we have Yoav Aziz, head of growth for Yotpo, telling us how they redesigned their website, increased conversions by 93%, and crushed it. Yoav, are you here?
That's me.
This is Jonathan Kahn and Roy Povarchik, and you're listening to Strike Gold. In today's episode, we have a special guest, head of growth at Yotpo, Yoav Aziz.
Hey, Yoav.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me here.
We have a room here. It's fine.
What? How did you get that room?
What room? This room at Rise?
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of sponsored by Rise. This is actually a great opportunity to have a quick message from our sponsors.
Are you a hardworking FinTech company who's tired of standing around? Well, Rise has the seats for you. Rise, a co-working space for FinTech companies. Have a seat.
I think that was your best one yet.
I feel the pressure now that you said that.
I think you're topping yourself every week.
Oh, man.
And I feel like you don't have a choice but to top yourself every week.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, but
I spent a lot of time recording these.
I know. That's amazing that you have so much free time. Anyway, so Yoav, thank you for coming in and being with us today. Yoav, tell us a little bit who you are, where you come from, what you do, what's your favorite color.
And what's Yotpo, I guess, also, right? That would be nice to
No, I want to talk.
Let's just talk about
colors.
you.
Yeah,
colors, go.
So hi, first of all. I'm Yoav from Yotpo. I'm managing the growth currently. Part of the marketing team. I just moved from the product. Yotpo is a commerce marketing cloud. We help technically businesses to market themselves through customers' content. If it reviews, photos, Q&A, loyalty, referrals, etc. I'm working at Yotpo for 3 years. So we are in charge of all the demand generation in the marketing, from traffic to conversion rate, leads, website, etc. We're managing the products inside the marketing. What does it mean? Every project that we are doing marketing-wise should have a product manager, wireframing, KPIs, etc. So this is the marketing side. On the product side, we are in charge, my team is in charge of the self-service, from how many signups are we bringing, how do they install Yotpo, how do they activate, usage, retention, everything from the self-service product. And from the annual users, the customers that pays us annually, we're in charge of usage and UX. So we're doing both product and marketing. It's kind of a hybrid team. Currently we sit on the marketing. Previously we've been at the product. We're moving wherever the company needs us. We're working super fast. Everything is dynamic. And
how do you justify the rest of the company? Because you've got that and all. That's it. There's nothing else.
No, but that's actually really smart. That's where I think you should be, somewhere between product and marketing.
So it's basically being the growth, VP growth. That's the title. What's the...
My title?
Yeah.
Head of growth.
Head of growth.
Head of
okay.
growth.
So yeah. So you're basically doing the cross between marketing, product, and making sure everybody's happy. Revenue is up.
The graphs are going up.
When I say everybody's happy, it's basically people who are paying are happy. And they want to pay more.
People who are getting money in their pockets are also very happy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Probably if you ask
everyone
people
should be happy.
If you ask people at Yotpo, what does he do? I'm we have no idea what they do.
That's the best position.
That's what all my positions have always been.
But we trust you that
but
it's
the
good.
truth is that I did nothing, so then it's fine.
Basically, you just did a crazy redesign for your website, which is something I think every marketing person, it's a thing, right? Where you go into a new company, the first thing you want to do as a marketer is we have to redo the website.
It's a dream.
It's
a dream.
Yeah. You just did this crazy website redesign, crazy conversion results, 97% increase in conversion.
Correct, 93, yeah.
93. Amazing. I was
now we had to reduce a couple points.
Yeah.
No, stop.
Oh, 93.
We're not 97, we're 93.
Oh, 93.
Yeah, it's I'm sure someone who's 93 years old is just
stop the recording.
Please don't say I'm 97. Yeah. I'm 93. Yeah. I got a good couple of years left.
I thought it was 97, 93. Stop the recording. This is not a podcast worthy episode.
We should edit this out. No,
so 93% increase in conversion rate doing a website redesign, which is, I think, is kind of amazing. Now, I think I think website redesigns is something that everybody kind of wants to do, but almost everybody do in a really bad way. Like the reason they do the redesign, the process they do is really bad. I think most of the people or most of the companies I've worked with usually did the redesign without any actual goal, as much as like feeling like we just need to update this. And you actually published an article about this, which was really in depth about the process and what you guys did. So basically, we thought it would be really interesting to have you here and talk about what you, like the whole thing you went through. I want to start by asking you the first question that I think a lot of companies get wrong. How did you decide this is the right time to do the redesign?
Cool. So, as I said, I moved from the product to the marketing, and I started to look on all the things that we can do. Like, okay, that's the situation. Like, analyzing for a day or two, like what's going on.
Okay, you just like you were just looking at the numbers of the company right now.
Yeah, like everything on the marketing side. What's going on with the PPC, with the traffic, with the conversion rate, with the next steps that we should do. And we said, okay, the very basic thing that we need to do is to redesign the website, not only conversion-wise. The website was so outdated that it didn't allow us to have an infrastructure to grow. We didn't have a place to really go and build some cool marketing activities.
For example?
For example, we wanted to do a new app market.
Okay.
But we couldn't do it in a new design, and we wouldn't build it in the old design. So we said, okay, it prevents us from really growing, we are not speaking about the conversion rate, which was terrible back then.
Okay.
So said let's go to a redesign process. It wasn't easy to convince everyone. People said no, we can do some A/B testing, some quick fixes, and go live. You know it, probably everyone is familiar with it. We insisted that no, we would like to build it from scratch. We brought the product knowledge. We said we'll build an MVP of the website, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We'll go live in a gradual release.
Okay, so wait, I just two things I just want to make clear and ask you. One, so basically you said the site was outdated, not just in terms of information, but you thought about all the new things you're going to put out, and you say like the structure of the website cannot support what this company is right now. So it's not just about like the messaging is out of date. It's like we do so many more things right now, and the structure of the website cannot be expanded.
Correct.
Okay.
What was outdated? It was like not only the messaging, not only the design, not only the navigation, the analytics infrastructure even, and the website wasn't optimized. Like everything that you can think of an outdated website was
Okay.
there.
So, and the second thing was the conversion rate was really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think you would get like the permission to redesign? I don't know if permission is the right word.
You guys keep saying the design. Like this is something that just keeps coming.
Redo.
Because no, you're
It's
saying
not
like
only
the
design.
redesign,
Yeah.
but it's interesting to say that like no one was saying like the emphasis on is the design up to date? Is it feel like a newer look to it? Does it need that? We're only talking about the
So when I talk about the redesign, because eventually
because a lot of people turn around and they think of it and they go, oh, this is a redesign. I'm just talking about refreshing the way that it looks, and it's actually not at all where you guys are talking about. You're just talking about
it's not refreshing because it's a whole redesign. Because it's not refreshing, I always think it's like cosmetics, and redesign is like the whole structure of how.
No, I agree. I just think it's very interesting that's
It's a rebuild.
You know, a lot of people turn around and go,
Rebuild.
"Oh, our website looks so old, it's so outdated. It's not relevant. Like it's not. That's not what you're talking about."
No, we
at all."
changed the messaging, what we speak about, why we speak about it, what would we like to put first, and like we changed really everything from A to Z.
Yeah. So, do you think that if you would come up to your team or CEO, I don't know who, that's also an interesting question later on, and you just say, hey, I feel it's outdated, can we redo it? They would say no, probably.
We came and said, okay, guys, those are the three options. First option, redesign from scratch, everything, a project of 3 months. Second option is doing some minor tweaks. We'll change this page and this page. This will take 1 month. Third is start A/B testing on the current. My suggestion is go with 3 months. And we got some back and forth. No, why we can't? Because people have pressure on their shoulders. They don't want.
they're scared. There's fear.
Yeah.
There's a fear
It's a
factor.
risk. You're taking 3 months project that it's like binary. Either it's like going big or home.
Yeah.
So people wanted the first and second option. We had more meetings about it, like why we need like why it's smart for the long term. And Yotpo is a long-term company.
Right.
The CEO always says like whatever you take.
Tomer.
Tomer is like.
So I've been working with Justin a lot. He used to do growth. He's a really good friend. And I actually know Yotpo from the early days because they were clients, I think, of Blonde 2.0 when they were just starting out.
Wow.
So I met them there. So it's interesting to see this company growing so fast. Okay, so you came up, Redesign, the structure is out of date, conversion rate is crappy, doesn't support future of the company. You go in and say 3 months project, quick fixes, or this. You convince them, you go for the 3 months.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, so you're head of growth. Who do you, just like in structure, company structure, just to get like people the idea, who do you report to? Straight to the CEO?
CMO.
CMO, okay.
Yeah.
So the structure in Yotpo for the growth team is under the CMO?
Yeah.
Right,
No,
but that's
no.
interesting. But you said you were on product. You were
Exactly.
on product. So the CMO is on top of product and marketing?
No.
No.
So it's kind of a hybrid solution. As I said,
Okay.
we moved to the marketing from the product team. Back then I was under the VP product, the VP product under the CEO, and we moved to marketing because we have such a good relationship with the product. I have a product manager in my team. That's doing product. He has developers. We're like developing.
But there's also like a product team aside.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But he's a product manager in terms of growth. So he's not building
So
the
it's
next.
you have a growth team basically.
Exactly.
So product manager, designer, engineer.
Exactly.
Probably,
Exactly.
Like the data analyst.
SEO. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Like a
Exactly.
specialist. So
It's so cool, but I'm wondering if that actually is the right like structure. I don't know.
So a
like,
gro-
okay,
so
'cause,
usually-
like
usually-
under the marketer, like you should kind of have like I would imagine a growth team should be somewhere in between all these different things, be able to float around and report to the
usually
CEO.
there's two structures where a company can go in how they structure the growth team. One, you can have like reporting straight to the CEO and have like a VP growth. So Uber and Facebook has like a VP growth. Other companies, usually more like older companies, well, not only, they have like VP product and then the growth team is under the VP product. So Pinterest have VP product and growth team is reporting to VP product, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they have like several growth teams, which is like they have a growth team for the acquisition, growth team for retention, growth team for referrals. Different companies have different structures. This is the first time, though, I actually hear about the the growth team working under the CMO.
Yeah. It's like we.
Wait, are you the growth the acquisition growth team?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's is there a different growth team for product or retention
No,
stuff like
it's
that?
us as well.
Okay,
We're
so
doing
they
both
will
parts.
move you around based on like where's the biggest issue right now.
No, because like personally, I'm a very good friend of the VP product, and we get along so good. So we said, okay, it's fine that we'll sit on the marketing. Probably if both of us won't be at Yotpo, it won't work like this.
Okay.
The growth team will be split. It will do only marketing. The product will have growth by its own, and the growth
Okay.
will be die.
Okay, interesting.
That is interesting. I would actually assume that it would just still be one team that's somewhere half kind of thing. Not that they report,
So-
more like they sit and discuss with the top people of the product and the marketing.
So usually
Because what's going on here is that we keep constantly talking about data, right? And that's why you kind of went, oh, it's under the acquisition side and not the content.
No,
or whatever.
I was asking about the acquisition side because I was thinking that maybe if you structure the growth team under the marketing, the CMO, then maybe maybe it's a structure where you have like a growth team working on acquisition, a growth team working on retention, for example, and referrals, and you just report to different parts, which wouldn't make that much sense because it has to look at the entire funnel, and would be too fragmented. So usually I think the myth that there's always like this growth hacker person who knows how to do everything, which is actually a role called growth lead in a company, which is the one structuring, managing the growth team. And the growth team would usually be built out of like a developer, designer, like I call it a marketing specialist because it could be either SEO, ads.
Yeah, so we call
whatever.
it growth manager.
Yeah.
That's how we call it.
Okay, and then there's like another layer which is like the data analyst and a product manager. Sometimes the data and the product would be maybe the same person or
So
the
in my
growth
team, the hiring was like this: that we hired the first growth manager was an analyst in eBay. So he's like very very data oriented. So we don't need the analyst. And the second one was a developer. So he came and he has like the coding skills, and we have a developer in my team. So we kind of like have a different set of skills. Whatever we we need to bring from outside, we bring from outside.
Right.
But my agenda is like everything that we can do in-house inside the team, it will be great. It will allow us to move super fast, as you see
Yeah.
in the website.
Yeah, so this is like a 3 months process, the entire redoing of the website.
End to end, like from
End-to-end.
design,
Okay.
wireframing, design, content, development, everything.
Okay, so how do you structure a website redesign process? Which team members do you bring on board to make this process efficient and not become like usually what happens is that you have like 5 years of brainstorming about everything, nothing really moves, and eventually like the redesign becomes like the joke of the company. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're always
Yeah, we're all
redesigning.
redesigning it. It's gonna happen any moment now.
And you did this in 3 months. So what was the first, in terms of building the team to manage the process, what was like the secret, or what was like the...
Cool. So I don't like when there are too many cooks in the kitchen. It's like a big issue, no matter how smart the people are. So we appointed senior stakeholders for each of the domains. So there was one in charge of content, one in charge of design, one in charge of development, and I'm in charge of the whole project. That's it. Like whoever else that has an opinion can say whatever he wants, but they don't decide.
How did you manage feedback then from like executives, other team members? Did you have any feedback?
Yeah, I had a lot of like, it won't work, it will work, I want it like this. I collected the feedback from everyone. I said, guys, eventually if this website won't work, it's on my head. If you want to split with me the responsibility, you can come. But otherwise, I need to balance between everyone, because think about it, if you give the support team, let's take them for example, the ability to change the website, probably the menu will be open a support ticket. If you give an HR person to build a website,
Open support ticket.
exactly. If you give the HR, probably the main call to action will be apply to job.
Yeah.
You give the partner with us.
Of course.
So exactly. So I need to balance between all the opinions.
So you gather all the feedback, and then how did you prioritize what you should intake and what you should leave aside?
So we decided what's the main KPI of the website. There are a lot of KPIs, brand and stuff, but the main KPI is leads. This website is for lead gen. So whenever there was a conflict, we said, okay, the main KPI is lead gen. It's gonna hurt the main KPI. Therefore, we are doing ABC. It was super important to do it at the beginning. So whenever there is a conflict, you can go to the whatever you decided. So that's how we framed it.
Before doing the redesign, did you like benchmark the current website?
Yeah, we took all the data, like what are the most best performing pages, which one are
Let's listen. No, wait. What did you benchmark? What were the metrics and KPIs you benchmarked before doing the redesign, and what KPIs and benchmark did you want to focus on when doing the redesign?
So it was the main one is like visitor to lead. This is the main KPI, time on site, bounce rate, all of those. The Google Analytics classic metrics, the page distribution. Like we're a multi-product company, and we didn't have a good distribution of the pages that people visit, meaning that they are not exposed to the products that we offer. So it was a KPI for us to make sure that people actually going and seeing the different products and requesting a demo after. It's not like only words.
So you actually have this metric saying we want to get people around to 2 to 3 different product pages to make sure that they know everything that we have to offer to begin with.
Yeah, we said we want people to understand that we're a multi-product company, no matter what, no matter how. Okay. The solution is, after we thought about it, the solution is to have 2 or 3 different pages of products and promote them heavily on the website.
Okay. There was actually one KPI that I think I wrote it down because that was interesting for me to understand why you actually focused on it as a KPI. So you had like improving bounce rate and increasing time on site and pages per session. So, but you say like pages per session, you actually meant like product pages per session.
Yeah, but pages like to see that people actually enjoy the website and discover more content.
So for me, okay, so time on site. It was interesting for me because if your KPI is conversion rates, so I would think like, why is time on site? Like, was there any indicator between time on site and conversions beforehand, or are you just saying time on site sounds important? Let's add this.
No, our product is like high end. People won't request a demo. People will request a demo after 10 seconds, probably will end up wasting sales rep time. Okay. So we do want people to stay more on the site, get more information, be engaged, and get the real information they're looking
So for you, time on site was a lead qualification process, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so you have your team set up. You have your growth team. You know your KPIs. What's your next step? How do you start?
Wait, can I ask? I have
Yeah.
a small thing there at that
You,
point. because
you're in
I've
the
done.
podcast, yeah? You can
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, everyone. I'm still here. No, I did something like this. I came into a company right when they were about to redo their whole website, and it was a Forex company. It was very, like, everything was data oriented, and they said my first task was to go around and interview people and find out what every single department felt was important on the old website, so that they didn't lose the tools and stuff. So if it was a salesperson who was looking to convert people, they said, "This is a thing that I use." Like I went to the top 3 best salespeople, and I said, "What are the features they use?" They said, "Well, I use this number here to convince people, because if I can show them this, then they turn around and go, oh, I'm in." So, did you have a process like that? Did you interview people around the company to get an idea, or was it all like, "Oh, wait, no, I don't need to hear what you have to say. I see the data. This says it doesn't work. I don't care what you have to like." What was it like?
So we interviewed a lot of people. We took some of the feedback, but think about it. If you have that's what they have. They have old, outdated pages, so they will use it, and probably it will work. But they don't know that if I build a new super cool thing, it will work better. So I kept a good balance between asking them and not promising anything.
Yeah.
To make sure that we are not staying with the old thing because people just think it works. This is eventually our job to bring leads, and sales enablement was
I
part
also
of
want to
the-
just say at this point, I want to compliment you on the whole. You said a sentence here that I think is really important, and I'm really sucky at the office politics stuff. I kind of hate it. I kind of immediately I go, "This is right. You all can see it. Why aren't we doing it?" But you said this thing where the people were giving you saying, "Oh, I want this to happen," or "I think we should do this," and you go, "Yeah, well, everything's on me. If you want to share the burden, that's cool. I'll do exactly what you want." But I think that's a great tactic to get people to back off, because that fear moment of wait, I don't want them. No, I didn't really think about what I said. I really got to measure this out before I take any burden on me. No, I think that's fantastic. I think I just wanted to put
because once people actually feel responsible for the process.
once they're responsible, it's not just saying stuff out there. I think that's why most people get afraid of me from having all these ideas, because they're like, wait, how much responsibility are you going to take for every single idea you have? I'm like, well, I'm kind of discussing and trying to understand which was the best. All right, so I'm sorry, go on.
Okay.
So for your question, the next step was setting the stakeholders as we spoke, and removing people that shouldn't be participating. A lot of people, want to. Even the CEO asked him, Tomer, do you want to be involved? No, I trust you guys. Run. He didn't see anything until we released. So it's a big thing.
Until you released.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it gave us a lot of freedom, and then because.
You launched, and then the next day you log into your email and your password was changed.
Fired.
Yeah.
No, but that's really cool. That's great.
It's really cool to have that trust with your CEO.
Yeah, it was amazing for us. And the next step was marketing teams. Usually, they are dreaming. They are like, let's rebuild the website. Okay, let's do this animation and this and those colors, and we'll. So we said, okay, we won't give them this is the project. We set the timeline. We're gonna release it in 3 months, guys. Now, tell me what you can do in 3 months.
Right.
Design, dev, content. Otherwise, it will be a 2 years project, as you know, marketing teams. So this
Not
was
even just designers. Based on designers, you need that format to kind of get to produce really great
exactly.
stuff.
Designer can take 3 months a page and 3 days a page. It really depends what you're asking for. So he said, okay, let's start do it backwards, and said, okay, we're gonna do it in this date.
Weird thing just about the designer thing. How much focus do you think the designer that you appointed as the key person there put on data or stuff like that based on the design? Because designer usually goes with what he feels. It's a very emotional thing. It's very about trying to be in tone with what color will make them feel this way, what will make them feel secure, what will make them feel panicked, whatever it is. But I'm wondering, this person that you appointed for this position, how much data or things did they use where did they get the information?
Tons of data. So they were heavily involved. For me, they are kind of owners of the project as well. Mm-hmm. They are heavily involved in what and why we're doing, and what's the main value prop, and how people understand Yotpo. And for example, we're not an API company. Our big advantage is that our widgets are very visual. It's super easy to explain what we're doing in visual, so they understand it. And everything behind the scenes, they knew even where the traffic comes from. demographics, etc. We've done like a lot of sessions to understand who is the persona. So it wasn't like, hey, it's beautiful, let's do it. No, it was like super data oriented.
How did you said that you didn't do the whole website at one go. You said that you did it like with small MVPs. So how do you do a redesign with MVPs?
So we took.
Wait, why? So, like, why do you do it with MVPs, and then like how do you do it?
First, why is because I wanted this project to succeed. If you go to like a super long project, probably something will be off. And let's speak about it. We just acquired the company 2 months ago. If I would do like the long process project at the middle of it, hey, we just acquired the company. Let's rebuild the website. So it was good to go with something. We gave up on a lot of things. First of all, design and dev-wise, every animation and stuff like this that takes a lot of time. Guys, it's not part of the MVP. Cut. And wherever we had like a decision, we said like, okay, it's not part of the MVP. It's like for next phase. It will waste time. Let's cut it off. And a lot of pages. So at the beginning, we didn't redesign the app market, for example, and we still don't have resources page. Which company is going live without the resources page? No, we still don't have, and it's fine. You see that we're doing well without it, and we focus on the most critical pages, which is the home page, pricing page, product pages, customers page that we didn't have.
So your MVP was basically saying these are the top pages we need to focus on, and the MVP is having those 4 or 5 pages up.
Yes, and not to have them at 100%, but at 80%. This is the MVP.
Okay, so going to like wireframe design.
Exactly,
content, saying like the design might be different in like 2 months from now, content might change a little bit, but that's like we want to start.
Exactly. The question I used to ask when you get a lot of backfire from design and content, no, we can't go live like this because I want it to be perfect. And like I have a single question to ask. If we'll go with this page now and we replace the previous page, the conversion will go up? If the answer is yes, we're going live now. And the answer most of the time was yes, so we went live even if it's not perfect. I said, okay, go live, see what's going on, iterate in 2 months. It was hard to people to get it at the beginning because people want their things to be perfect. It's their name.
Yeah, there's a level of artistry here to being a designer or content writer, or whatever, that you want things to be as perfect as possible.
Exactly, it's their name eventually, and I'm like kind of ruining their name, but I'm saying no, it's like great. People, it's like in your head. People will like it. It's fine.
So how did you decide on? Because do you think it's going to increase conversion? Yes or no? How did you decide on the content or the essence of the pages that you felt like, okay, this is going to increase conversions versus this is what I think is better? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we've done a long process of understanding what's the best way to describe our product. So what have we done? We looked at around 100 websites, around SaaS companies that we don't know, and we started to check if we understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we went one by one. Do we understand? Yes, no. If we understand, we start to write why we understand it. Oh, because they have this visual, because their content is straight to the point, because it's they have like a small tagline of this is the product. Because so once we've gone through this process, we understood that we need to speak like in a very short content. We need to have a lot of visuals. And we need to be straight to the point, like no marketing fluff and jargon where people want to actually know what you're doing. And when you stood the above the fold is like critical here. That all the websites that had like vague above the fold, we just bounced. So I understood, okay, we must invest most of our powers in explaining above the fold what we're doing in this page, what do we want, and we've done it through like very tactical design, let's call it. Like it's a design of we don't have illustrations. We have design of the real product and very straight to the point and short content. The cool thing that we've done here, which is the opposite of the books that tell you what to do, is we designed first and then the content wrote on top of it. So usually you write content, you give it to the designer, hey guys, design according to this, and I wanted the page to be self-explanatory through the visuals itself. So we just designed without content, and I said I want a page. I want the whole pages to be to people to understand them without reading a word. And once we had it, and once we had it, the content which is good adapted to it. So they said, okay, I have 80 characters here. Let's see how can I fit and write something that's complementary to the design itself, because let's be honest, I'm always going to websites. I'm like scrolling, I'm looking, I'm like, what they want here? I'm looking at the visuals. If I don't understand, I'm bouncing after like 30 seconds. So I said, why I'm behaving like the websites that I don't like? Let's be different this time.
That's really awesome. I don't know if you like that's a really amazing point because first of all, designers usually, most designers, and I'm not saying the best, but like the average designer has a big problem dealing with the content.
Yeah.
They really suffer when it comes down to content. Like, oh no, how am I going to put this
it's too
in here?
much. You're shouting.
Oh, please shut it. Exactly. So then you're right. There's a problem there that constantly happens. And also, most importantly, we work visually most of the time. We don't. It's not about reading right away. First of all, you go on a first date, you see someone in front of you. That's what you're working with. You don't really go, oh, let me read her specs. So that's the same thing here. If it can work visually, then the content will only add on to it. That's a very nice perspective.
Exactly. So to balance between like, okay, now we came to the question of, do we speak like very direct, or do we speak with marketing jargon?
Do we say we can achieve your dreams? Like that kind
exactly.
Okay, got it.
So we came like to nice solution, like adding tags of the name of the section. For example, if it's email acquisition, let's write email acquisition in a small tag, and then like I told the content, write whatever you want below. I don't care as long as it says there like what's the real thing. So we had a lot of back and forth there to understand what.
I want to ask a question. So working with design teams, first of all, you have an in-house design team.
Yeah, amazing one.
So they know like the product, they know the brand. Okay, because usually, what I'm sorry for all the designers out there. What I experience is that most designers that we get to work with.
Just say it, bro.
No, so
I have a background in design. I'm feeling slightly offended.
No, it's just like they're so focused on like being designers that they don't even get the product design in terms of like if you go to Yotpo right now, you see like the header, like the hero shot. It is so perfectly structured into explaining like what you do, who you are in a glimpse in terms of visual. And most designers usually aren't able to get the essence so much of the product or like the product messaging, because it's actually the product messaging that's described in a form of visuals.
Someone needs to guide them.
Yeah. So how was the process of guiding your design team to what they should design and what should be the outcome?
So we went through a process of like a small one, 30 minutes. What do we want to show? If we're speaking about the homepage above the fold, what do we want to show? And we wrote it like by words. First thing we want to show, we want people to understand that we have reviews. That was the first thing. Second thing, we want people to understand that we allow customers to curate images from Instagram and put them on site. Third one, we want customers to understand that we are able to analyze your reviews and get sentiment and topics from it. Fourth, we want people to understand that everything is on the same product, like platform. So we just wrote this, and they said, okay, let's come with a few ideas. We started to look at inspirations and stuff like this. And then we had the discussion of how granular should it be? Should it be a screenshot? Should it be an illustration? And we understood that in our point, it should be something in between, because having a real screenshot is like for $10 a month company. And having something to us personally is like Nike. I don't know. Yeah. It's like super high-end. So once we've been through this process, then I said, okay, this is the language that we're going to go through all over the redesign. I can say they're like amazing in it. They didn't like go to all the design dreams of I'll do I don't know, monsters that coming from the top of the website. So
they got straight to like what
amazingly.
Okay.
It's funny that you said that. I'm sure right now one of the designers looking at a sketch that he has with the monsters on it. He's going, I am throwing this away before anyone sees it.
He's like in front,
I was going to pitch this when he got back to the office.
He's like in front of the mirror saying, today's the day. You should do it.
I'm going to introduce the monsters of Yotpo.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to rock it. We're like putting in a folder.
Yeah, he's like, I'm portfolio. He has a portfolio of 30 different monsters.
Monsters of Yotpo. Each one has a name. He built a backstory to it. There's a whole description.
It was a divorce with this one. He's left with 3 kids. This monster is having a tough time.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. No, I'm thinking about the Monsters of Yotpo right now. There's like an awesome kids show about monsters who review things.
Bots, right?
I don't know. I don't
think
know
it
if it's
exists,
a real
man.
thing.
It's Yotpo bots. No, I'm just kidding.
Yotpo bots. So I'm thinking about the other show on Netflix, the toys that made us.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, but with like the other way around, you take SaaS products and you create animated shows around them. Anyway, next thing I wanted to ask you about this process. So what I noticed is that you didn't talk to customers at all. It was basically like every step of your process, like we thought, we researched.
It's like heavy competitor analysis.
Heavy competitor analysis, heavy...
Not only competitor, by the way, it's like,
Yeah, like,
other SaaS companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like SaaS inspiration.
Yeah, mostly. Even.
And at no point you said, so we called up 30
people
clients,
from Alabama.
From a target audience and asked them, what do you want to get? You never said that. So you're listening, so you don't see his scared, nodding no face.
We spoke to some people, okay?
Yeah.
No, honestly, we didn't speak to customers.
2 questions. I'm stopping before. How did you make the decision to not speak to customers? And how did it change your product, your process, and like, do you think it was for the best or not?
Cool. So, first, talking to customers takes a lot of time. One, getting them, and then like speaking,
Right.
it like
And breaking down what they're actually trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a time consumer. We've done other things. First of all, we've done user testing, like anonymous user testing, that people go on the website, record a free 4 minutes video. This is what I understand. But
Which service did you use for that?
you pick usertesting.com, the free one.
Okay,
pick
the one
the-
you send randomly.
Yeah, pick
and
it.
then you get like this teacher from Alabama who's like, I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know.
I just
Yeah.
got my Wi-Fi today for the first time. And I'm
One
not the
said that
internet.
one said that we are Yelp back then. Oh, it seems like you Yelp. I'm like, whoa, okay. So this is it. And everyone that came to an interview at Yotpo, and every new employee, I'm speaking with all the new employees doing the session about the marketing, I used to ask them, what do you think about the website? Like everyone, what do you think? What do you understand that we're doing? And they all, I was struggling to understand ABC.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's where you get millennials doing interviews. Like if you would get like people from the 80s or 90s, they'll be like, "Oh, it's amazing, sir. You have a beautiful website. I love it."
Shake your head verbally.
And millennials like, "I didn't get it."
Nothing made sense to me. No, but
sorry.
actually, to be honest, I've worked in different places that the first thing they do with people is like, oh, what did you think of this stuff? But to be honest, I never heard anyone actually using that information at all. Like, you come on, like I'm actually go up to a lot of companies and things that I like, and for free, I'm like, you may contact me and ask me about everything I felt about your product and your website and what it made me feel, if I understood it and all that stuff. I'll be very happy to give you that information. No one ever wants it. No.
So every interview, seriously, everyone that comes to an interview, I used to ask them like, what do you think about the website? And the honest one told me like, I don't understand what you're doing, guys. Like they used to tell me, I don't understand. And for me, like someone that goes deeply into the website and tries to understand what we're doing, and
You can't figure it out.
Yeah, so
this is a job for him. Goddamn it!
Yeah.
This is money.
Did you like do like, oh, and you still applied? That's
You never say that. Just go. Oh, that's good. 3 points less.
so you decide not to go to customers because it takes too much time.
it takes too much time. And honestly, I don't see a huge value in it. To
Okay.
be super honest.
Interesting.
Because let's say I can speak with 30, 50 customers. It's still like a small sample size to take such a huge decision on it. It can be like
What about
nice.
what about like a feedback tab or a bot that said, did you find what you were looking for? All these other things, which are kind of like that,
Cool.
but
So
more
we've done
animated.
it. We've done it in the past. We used to do like, what are you looking for in this page? What's
Yeah.
missing and stuff. So we use this data. People like used to write, what's your prices? What are you doing? How do I get started? Like,
Right.
the usual stuff. I don't think people are coming there for big things. What I've done is we have a contact us page, and we had like around 1,000 contact us messages back then. So I've analyzed everything and understood, okay, people are contacting us because they don't find A, B, C, D, E, and we incorporated it into the new website.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of speaking to customers, but not really. So
Okay.
it's like
So you
collecting
got some
feedback
customer
passively.
feedback.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do usually when we build sales funnels or content is that we go to the customer support and the sales team, and we basically say, hey, what do you guys get asked about mostly? What are the biggest issues people have? Biggest objections, the whole thing, and then you take that and turn into content. So that's kind of the same process.
Yeah, we use a sales team. Honestly, they are like a huge asset for us because there are some things that you're not familiar with, and the
Yeah.
sales team can tell you like, dude, I don't. For example, we had a pricing page with 5 different packages, but no prices, because our pricing is so dynamic. It's based on domains and traffic and products, and so we had like the name of the plans, but without the pricing. And all the sales team used to come and tell me like, "Dude, you're killing us with it. No need." And we just changed it to like free and premium, and I think it was like 170% only on the pricing page increase, just by removing this like.
Yeah, because it was very cluttered. You had like I think 5 or 6 different options.
With
And
no
none of the
reason.
option would lead you anywhere.
Exactly, it's the same. It's the same
Yeah.
option.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you want 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? And it doesn't matter which one you choose, by the way.
Exactly.
But
So
choose
it doesn't make sense.
5, obviously.
Yeah.
Another thing, they said like you are over the website speaks too much about like granular features. So we took the pricing and said no need to speak about like every tiny feature. We combine them into groups and visual groups. Like it's like circles that okay, you'll get this suit and this suit and this suit. So this is feedback that we collected from sales. That's
I think a lot of companies don't understand that their website is kind of like their online sales team in a way.
Yeah.
It's like the process you go like you instead of having somebody walk you through the product, you have like a landing page and you scroll down, and every time you want to ask a question, like same way you would go in the store and somebody would walk you through the store or on a phone call, whenever the user has a question they would ask the salesperson, you need to have that answer on the homepage. Ideally, usually like would be around the time that they're going to ask it.
I think that's why I get really excited when I see people who design their websites as a story format, where like you're scrolling down and elements are happening and things that are kind of
because
it feels like a day or like even the sun in the background is moving down because it's like okay, this is what it is. It's like you walk in.
It's a
the same.
conversation.
Yeah, it's the same thing that you have when someone walks into your store.
Exactly.
It's the experience they have coming up. It's the questions that they have at the back. The things that you're already pushing to them while they're coming in.
So we added a chatbot for this. We added Drift. So we have on the website Drift that we built a lot of playbooks to answer those questions. Okay, we ask what are you looking for in some of the pages. I'm looking for more information, pricing, requested demo, start now, to guide people that like me, I don't have powers like to go scan. I want like, okay, someone help me, I want ABC. And it works very well for us. So this is like what we've done to.
So in order to understand what content should be on the different pages, you first of all, your team went through about 150 SaaS websites, documented what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, messaging type, style, design style,
everything.
You did consulted with your sales team. You had like you went to the FAQs and contact us that you had, and
a lot of product marketing, like what's our main value prop and differentiation of our competitors and stuff.
Okay, and then you also had like a bot collecting feedback a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you decide what content should be on each page.
In fact, and it was complemented with our tone of voice.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Then you go to your design team and you tell them like these are the sections we need to have. These are the answers we need to answer throughout our page, visually.
Yeah.
And then you go back to your content team and say like, hey,
this is the page. Enjoy.
This is the page, complemented with your words and beautiful literature.
No, they got more than this. They got design with like my English, let's say.
Okay.
Which is not so good. Like the Israeli English.
So you're like, I'm gonna tempt them to want to change everything here. I'm gonna misspell stuff all over this page.
So your right now your main messaging is like great brands are built on happy customers. And like the one you gave them was like happy customers, more money, smiley face.
The pricing page.
Emoji.
The pricing page, I think the title was "We have price for everyone," and the reviews page was "We have reviews."
Reviews happen here.
Yeah, I was a joke for a month. Like all the content used to like go with the Israeli accent. We have reviews.
Place reviews here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was in my English, and then like we call it. Can you English it, please? And make some magics. Yeah. So we gave some of the stuff, and the design. By the way, I don't know if you looked at it. We created I think around 70 different mockups just to like have a lot of different small nuances that explain the text.
Amazing. So okay, you did this. The site is ready. You launched.
We launched gradually. This is another thing that we've done different this time. So everyone asked me like, why not like releasing everything at once? And I felt a bit scared to do it, and I didn't get the point why doing it. So we just released page by page. So we released the pricing page after 3 weeks from beginning of the project. Then we released one of the product pages, then another one of the product pages, and every page that we released, we just like A/B tested if we could. If we couldn't, like the customer's page, we just launched and saw what's happening. And as soon as we released, we just like sat on. We had screen recording. We watched like hundreds of screen recordings, understood like the small issues, who's getting to the button, who's not, where are they dropping, and reacted quickly. And this allowed us to build a great homepage. Why? Because usually people starting from the homepage, they build the homepage first and then they go down. We went to the less important pages, like relatively. We went to the product pages and we built it first. And we took all the knowledge from the product page and we built the pricing page. And we took this and we...
So you didn't design everything in a batch. You designed one page, launched it.
Exactly.
One page, launched
exactly.
it. So I guess one of the first
Did it
pushbacks...
feel weird to have like pages that look very standout?
Yeah,
Like how?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm telling you like to put on shoes with no socks.
No,
for
like the
time.
first pushback you usually get from a team or
From
CEO,
design.
from design. No, even from like your like marketing team would be like, no, you can post this one page would just like not be consistent. You either do everything or you do nothing.
I agree.
How did you win with that strategy?
I agree, but the previous design was so bad that I said, okay, anyway we look ridiculous, guys. Anyway we look ridiculous. Let's at least get some leads.
Let's have like one page that's like a fun surprise page. Let's have that page that everybody says, oh, I wish everything was redesigned as this page.
Yeah.
It was
Would you like everything else to look like this? Click this button.
Yeah. I love this we have reviews page. Okay, so you did it granularly. How did you like if I can ask, I'll just ask. You can say no if you don't want to answer. So how much traffic do you get to those pages week by week that you had enough information to make a decision?
So we have enough traffic to get 95% significance in a week. But wherever we didn't have significance and we saw that it's not dropping, but it's like going up a bit, but not significant. Because guys, it looks better. We're fine with it. Okay. Let's go. So a lot of tests I stopped even before it's significant. And I emailed everyone, guys, I'm stopping it before even it's significant, as it's not.
How did you make that decision? How did you make the decision saying this is not like the process? Because stopping something before it ends significant, etc. That's like the number 1, number 3 on every conversion Excel kind of article. How did you say like, okay, I'm confident enough that this is doing well?
Gut feeling with a bit of data. Like I looked at the data, I said, okay, it's not going down. You see that it's not going down. If it's now stable or going up, fine. I'm fine with both. Let's just like push it and see what's going on. Okay. And we had like our BI team built us like an amazing dashboard of conversion rate, split it by everything. So we just like monitored it on a daily basis.
What did you have there? That's interesting. What did you have there?
So we have like conversion rate from in terms of like time from visit, if the user is a new user, first time returning, if it has like a product session, countries, everything. Like we checked everything from mobile to desktop and we saw that like things are going in the right direction. More than that, we didn't only look at leads, but I looked at lead quality, which people are not looking at it. Like, okay, we can increase leads, but if most of my leads are irrelevant, we didn't do anything. So I started to look manually on lead quality, and I'm like, okay.
How did you check lead
we
quality?
We have a great in-house scoring.
Okay.
So I just like looked at different emails, VLOOKUP, just checking like what's the median score here and there. And I saw that like around 70% increase in lead quality. So I said, okay, even if it's going down in like 5% and I'm still able to increase the lead quality, I'm fine with this. Like it's fine not...
like the total paying users is up versus bullshit users.
Yeah, all of those metrics are like correlating to revenues eventually, but you can't measure revenues because the long term...
And eventually I think a lot of companies don't understand that when you have so many bad leads coming into the site, it also wastes time.
Because it costs money.
Yeah, it costs money because people would even message, contact me. You have like a waste of time sales call, and basically you actually have a lot of resources.
You're paying for a contact in every like marketing tool you use. You're paying for SDR, AE.
Yeah, so you're actually losing. Like some people just pushing so much, just get more leads, and they don't understand that having 20 bad leads and 1 good one would actually cost them more than having like 7 average leads with 3 really good ones. Because it just costs money to have all that structured. Okay, so you release page by page. You know what? Let's move to before, because our time is almost up. So let's. What was your marketing stack for the whole process?
So, we used a lot of tools. We were prototyping with Balsamiq.
Okay.
We used also InVision.
InVision was like for the second step. You have the mock-ups. You put them on InVision. Everybody comments on.
I made Balsamiq for the designers. The designers turned it into InVisions, comment with the content and with me there. We used Hotjar Full Story for heat maps and screen recording.
So Hotjar for screen maps and Full Story for video?
Exactly.
Okay.
We used Drift for the chatbot. We used Mixpanel and Amplitude for analytics. Amplitude was amazing.
Why did you use both?
Amplitude is like an amazing free plan that even we as like a big company can use the free plan. So we use Segment. We just connected it with both. So we are paying Mixpanel, but we can still have more capabilities for Amplitude. So whatever I can't analyze in Mixpanel, I can analyze in Amplitude.
Would you recommend a company to stick with one later on? Like, do you see yourself leaving Mixpanel to stay only with Amplitude?
Yeah, you can migrate the data. We also checked it.
Is it something that you would plan to do as a growth hacker for your company?
Yes, but the BI is in charge of it. But I'm supporting it. I'm like with them always. Because we use Segment, it's like so easy to switch.
Right. You want to minimize the amount of tools involved.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But we're not using Amplitude. It's just like something that we could use. What else did we use? Drift, etc. I think that's it in general. VWO and VWO for the A/B testing, and we use.
How did you use this versus Optimizely?
Optimized, I think, is more like for high end. VWO is like more tactical. Okay, let's replace this text and like split as this. Honestly, we can also use a Google solution, but we just like
Google Optimized.
Yeah, we're just used to our VWO, so we stayed with it. So VWO we said. And Trello for project management, and Smartsheet for project management. That's where the marketing team manages the whole program. This was the tech stack.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's like very straightforward. I love it because I think a lot of the time people think there's a trick behind what tech you use, right? Because there's so many new things coming in, like, and you basically just need to get the information and make a decision.
Exactly. It's kind of all the same. It's nuances. It's like what best for you.
Right. How involved was the BI team in the process?
In the post launch, not
to analyze, like
exactly, like what's happening, to see that I'm not lying, because
it's like the CEO. This is like the CEO. No, I trust you. Do whatever you think is right. Tell the BI team to be on its back.
Mic him. Mic is off now.
So for example, whenever I'm sending a self-service report on the product team, so the BI comes and like, okay, Yoav's numbers are not.
Yeah, it's like
we're having 93. It's actually 97. No. Actually, that's probably it. He came in and was like, we have 97, and they're like 93. And he's like, fine, I'll say 93 from now on.
No, like, he leaves the room, and then like the room darkens, and there's like,
what's really going on?
And they're like, send the BI team here. It's like, cookies, a motherfucker. It's like, I want cookies everywhere in his office. There's like so many questions I want to ask you about the internal data and process, but I think we kind of run out of time.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so valuable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
My
for
God.
joining us.
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. It was great.
You were a little surprised when you came in that this is how we just sit and do it. Like, but this is super
You were surprised
fun.
you were wearing pants.
I know. I was surprised I was wearing pants too. But then he found out we turned off the AC, and he was like, "I understand."
I get the pants.
No, but this is like really the reason we do it like this is because honestly we could probably sit here for hours and just talk about this.
Super cool.
Anything you would want to add, plug, promote, give discount codes?
Go to my Instagram.
Yeah, well, you actually have a very beautiful Instagram account.
Thank you.
I should
So it's
follow
like,
this.
it's like
What is it?
at Yoav Aziz, right?
I'm following it.
That's for Instagram.
Cool.
So, guys, go visit the. You know what would be awesome? We have a before image of the website.
Yeah.
So we're gonna on the podcast where you go to the liner notes, we're gonna have the two before and after.
Cool.
if anybody wants to ask you something, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure.
Twitter.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever you want.
Okay,
Feel
amazing.
free.
So spam Yoav with your marketing questions. You can write to him at spamyoav@stridegoal.com. Thank you so much for being with us. So much valuable information. Guys, if you don't review, comment, like, and share after this one,
Then the BI is going to come after you.
yeah, you know everything. So, I don't know. I felt like I
Yeah.
learned so much.
Yeah,
So-
I'm still dealing with it. All right, you're all lucky. Let's just say it. If you're listening to us, then you're lucky.
Call a loved one and say,
And tell
I
them.
love you.
I'm telling my grandma about this immediately after. All right, bye.
Bye bye.